Music by Jerry Zuko. He is cranking up the tunes. If you like classic cars, if you like late model Corvairs, he's got a late model Corvair. He is a Corvair enthusiast. You brought a Corvair. I brought a Toronado.
Life is good though.
Life is too short to argue if you should have brought the Toronado to the.
All good.
You want music? You're in Chicago area? Call Jerry. To play a Corvair baby or a little GTO. We've got a great Corvair show happening today. It's the last day. It's the car show. We had the banquet last night. We gave away the awards. People put a lot of time and effort to make their cars beautiful. And there's one car here that definitely is a one-off. It's one of none. It's a recreation based on the 1963. Now, I think I'm getting this right. Let's read the blurb that's right in front here. Monza SR. I described this car briefly in a video that I made yesterday. But a young man started this project, and 5 years later, he's a little bit older. And it's a little bit bigger and a little faster and beautifully finished. Carbon fiber monocoque chassis, would it be called? Or a tube frame chassis with a giant backbone. It's an amazing creation of what Chevrolet may have or would have or could have or should have built.
Yeah, I like that.
It's just unbelievable. And if you've got $1 million and you want to drive one, it may be for sale or maybe they'll put them in production. We're going to zip down the aisles here. We've got 4 full aisles of Corvairs taking up a big area of this parking lot. And I'll run by the cars quickly. It's the car show. The concours is done. The autocross, the rally, the Econo Run, everything is done. We're here to make friends and say goodbye to friends. And we'll see them all next year. Maybe we'll be back in 3 weeks to the homecoming in Plymouth, Michigan at the Clock Tower Comfort Inn. This is a 63 Patina Corvair 700. Here is a totally original, or mostly original, Survivor 64 Monza in Willow Green Survivor. It's got 60-odd thousand miles, new white top. What a beautiful car. 63 Monza Spider Turbo, black on black. 63 Monza convertible. I wish I knew the colors. There's Palomar red, Pontiac had Marimba red, there's Regal red. Can't remember all the red colors. Station wagon, this one looks like it might be one of the Concours Senior Division cars. It's a 62, which would no longer be called a Lakewood. They just called it a station wagon. It's got the rare cloth interior, genuine period correct Chevrolet seatbelts, and it's a 4-speed manual shift. You could have got a gas heater. Even though gas heater was standard in 60, Chevrolet quickly adopted the direct air heater, which brought some nice fumes in. We've got a 68 on the trailer. Off it goes, being towed by a Mercedes Sprinter camper van. 62, I like the 62 year. It's got the cast grill bars, where 63 had a pressed piece of tin. 64 had a nicer piece of tin. 61 is also a nice grill bar. And 60 is a year all by itself with the concave front end. In 61, they made the front end have a bit of a V shape when you look at it from the elevation side. What a beautiful, beautiful station wagon, not a Lakewood. Half-year production only, Corvair station wagon. This has got the correct lock with the oil filler mounted in the little access panel. What a beautiful restoration. Route 66, the American road from Chicago out west. How does the song go? Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, California. Route 66. There's only one way out west. Historic Route 66. Here's a 61 Lakewood. Also got the truck station wagon block. This one's got 4 carbs with a handmade, homemade, beautifully made air cleaner. Wow. Never came that way. Would have had just a single attachment point to the carburetor. Someone's extended this and did a beautiful job making it look like a factory stock 140 4-carb. Some people are just amazing, the skill they have and the beautiful finishing. This has got a manual shift too. We love our manual shift Corvairs. Somewhat of a complexity. Chevy rally wheels, bumper guards, 61, nice stainless steel grill bar. Here's an amazing, just truly amazing, really. 66 Corsa, one of very few with factory air Now, wait a minute. Wait a second. Corsas only came with manual shift, standard 3-speed, optional 4-speed. This is a automatic floor shift. I know who makes those. With an early 60s, maybe a 63 full-size Chevy console adapted to fit the Corvair. Very interesting. Air conditioning, AM/FM, telescopic, cruise control, remote control mirror, padded dash, automatic equipped Corsa. So I wonder if it has the 4-degree retard on the cam. Loaded with options, headrest seats, deluxe seat belts, little bits of chrome here and there to dress it up. And it's a 4-carb, which they offered in the automatic transmissions, and chrome bits and aftermarket air conditioning. That does the, you just do that. This is beautiful, amazing.
Not my car. I help the gentleman.
Beautiful car, great job. If I could have one of each, great car. Thank you for bringing it. Rear seat stereo speakers. Got a rack on the engine lid for your extra luggage. 65 last year for the Greenbrier. Got some differences from 64. V8 Corvair registry is well represented here with lots of cars. They'll be in San Diego last year. Fuel cell, nitrous oxide. 66 Monza. Convertible, more door, 4-door. This looks like an original paint car, maybe. 66. The last year for the 4 doors was 67. I had a 500. It's long gone. An original Survivor car with 1 repaint, owned by the woman's Aunt Lois. LA built, Los Angeles built, driven in Chicago, and enjoyed still right where it grew up. 65 sports sedan Monza with white walls. We love our 4-door, more doors, and just to compare what they look like, here's a 64 4-door sedan with pillared framed window glass, and in 65 they went to the clean look, open look that became popular in the mid-50s. Corvair ramp side, pineapple truck, parked next to this beautiful 64, red with a white interior. Again, I don't remember the colors exactly, I wish I did. 63 ramp side. Pineapple Delivery Company. And there she is, right from Oahu. This is a Devon, made by this fellow in Southern California. I saw one 10 years ago, didn't realize that the fellow who made these cars, created them, was driving the car that he made. This, I believe, is one of the last ones. A body was left over. It's a beautiful car. The gentleman drives it. He competes with it. Done 1 row of cars, down to the second. 3 rows to go. 66 modified with beautiful mag wheels, bright red interior, wood wheel, air conditioning, white with a red interior, an air-conditioned Monza convertible. Long-time owner, the car disappeared, and it reappeared. Yep. Similar to the Myers Manx, but a different body with Corvair drivetrain steering. This is a 65 140 4-speed Monza convertible with a deluxe custom interior and the big bear. Here's a solar Cavalier. It was made by Art Hirschberger in Wisconsin back in the early 70s. He would take a Corvair, strip it down, fix the rust, put on a 904 vent top that John Fitch offered, still available, and called it a solar Cavalier. This one survives to this day, 50 years later, after it was recreated. It's got 68 Camaro Rally Sport taillights, backup lamps in the lower valance, dual exhaust, 4-carb, 4-speed. 67 Monza, the year that wasn't supposed to be. GM was mad at Ralph Nader, and Ralph Nader was mad at GM and the entire auto industry. It's got no radio, so-called radio delete, but actually no radio was ordered. 67. The last year they made Corvairs in Canada, they always painted the trunk body color, and they got splatter paint in the States. This is a one of 3 Yenko Stinger, 1967. It was in the car display inside. Now it's outside being displayed for everybody to enjoy. What a beautiful car. It's got the optional headrests, no radio, no heater, built for racing. Now this is a genuine heater delete, non-radio car, tuned by Yenko, Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, meant to go racing. '66 turbo Corsa. No mag wheels were ever offered on the Corvair. They had wire wheels on the early. They were supposed to have them on the lates, and a version of the Kelsey Hayes 8 luggers on the Corvair. There's a couple sets in the Corvair Museum in Decatur, Illinois. Pontiac had the 8 luggers, and Chevy was supposed to offer them on the GTO and on the Corvair. Never saw the light of day. Now this is an amazing. This has got the stance. This has got the look. It's a mid-engine, small block, tunnel rammed, 2.4 barrel, unbelievable Corvair. An unbelievable bright blue metallic. It's just got the look. Got the stance. It's got zoomies. It's got a parachute. When you go for a ride in this car, baby, this mid-engine Corvair, hang on, because it'll shoot flames. It is fast. It's even got wheelie bars. Wow. What a beautiful version of a mid-engine Corvair. The Corvair group, the Corvair V8 group guys are here, well represented. This is a 67, also a 67. There's a few 67s here. 140. Chevrolet dropped the Corsa, dropped the 140, but they brought it back. People wanted it. Air-conditioned 4-speed 140. It's got the updated modern Sandin style compressor, much lighter, less drag on the motor, less beating on the cylinder heads. They updated those to 66 with bigger bolts, a lot more aluminum, made the head runs hotter, it seems. 65. 110 horsepower, the optional 110 with a lumpy cam, and a bottom of the line sport sedan, power glide transmission, AM radio, plain old steering wheel, plain plaid front seats. Does have seat belts, does have an outside rear view mirror, which didn't become standard until January of 65. Trim rings, little hubcaps, dog dish poverty caps, and a beautiful red 65 with a light beige tan interior, off-white interior, and front seat belts. And they could have had a fold-down rear seat to add a little bit of luggage room. 64 Spider Turbo. It's got the tilted voltage regulator to allow clearance to change the air filter element, which only started in, I think, the 63s or late 62s. The Spider Turbo was introduced in April along with the Oldsmobile Jetfire 215 alloy motor with the turbocharged V8 engine, but high compression with what they call that jet fuel or rocket anti-detonation fuel. Wasn't much of a success. That motor was sold along with the Buick variant of the old Buick 215 was sold to British Leyland, and in various forms it lives to this day. It was put in all kinds of Rovers and some MGs that were never offered for sale on this side of the pond. 63 Fitch Sprint. Headrests, beautifully represented with period correct gauges. Nice genuine wood wheel, period correct. Power top, full restoration. When it was dragged home, the old lady said, "What are you doing? What are you going to do with this thing? It's rough." But here it is, on display, and it's beautiful, and it gets driven. Fitch Sprint. 69, 500, 95 horse power glide with the air pump still in place, and an old 4-ply tubeless tire, so-called pie crust tire. This car's got under 20,000 miles, 17,942. It was the raffle car given away at last year's Pittsburgh CorVention. And she's a survivor, owned by a guy that loves his Corvairs. And We chat, keep in touch, exchange stories of barn finds and cars we wish we could have had, and too many cars that we may have had or have or will have. AM/FM telescopic steering in this 65. Oh, we got a couple of mufflers. Trombone mufflers. 140, 65. It's got a dark charcoal cove on a 65 Corsa with chrome Chevy rally wheels with the poverty caps, similar to what I have on my 63 Biscayne 409. 61 Corvair Lakewood station wagon with a roof rack, automatic shift, evening orchid. Pontiac called it Iris Mist, 1 year only color, available on full-size Chevys as well, maybe even on the Malibu. Circle City Corvairs from Indianapolis. I've been to the Suds driving. Great place, great cars, great people. AM/FM telescopic steering, padded dash, and the 1 year only silver dash. Chevy changed that to black in 66. Pretty sure I got my facts straight. It's got an 8-track. Here maybe, pretty sure this is the most widely driven Corvair maybe in the world. Belongs to our favorite parts vendor, Rexy. And he drives this car, towing his 2-half Corvair trailer everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Long distance award year after year after year. It's a very rare one of 521 convertibles built in '69. It's loaded with options. It's got telescopic steering, 4-speed AM/FM, and a factory clock, remote control mirror, mag wheel covers, and it is driven. He's driven, it's driven, and it's a Corvair family in a '69 Corvair convertible. This is somewhat of an opposite story of a '67 convertible with factory air conditioning. The fellow that owns this has owned it since 1971 when he bought it from a classified ad that he had placed in Hemmings, maybe. Came from New Bedford, Massachusetts, which is where he picked it up. Maybe he took the bus there. He wanted to buy a new Corvair, but it didn't happen. And 4 years later, he was able to buy this very well-equipped '67 convertible last year. It's got telescopic wood wheel, AM/FM multiplex stereo with the rear indoor speaker. And that speaker is half in the door panel, or 2/3 in the door panel, and 1/3 or 1/4 in the door. Remote control mirror, headrest seats, loaded with options. It's got 45,000 miles, and he's owned it since 1971, 4 years after it was purchased new by the family that he bought it from. And he drives this car minimally, but he enjoys it when he does drive it. The top hasn't been down in 40 years, but the air conditioning works, and it's ice cold, R12. 61 Lakewood wagon, lightly customized with different taillight lenses. Chrome air cleaners. Alternator versus the generator, the heavy, somewhat less efficient generator. This fellow also drives his car a lot. We see him at all the Corvair events. A couple years ago, we dropped the valve seat in the Econo run. There's a couple of Corvair Juniors. And those are the wheels that look just like 8-luggers that would have been available on the GTO in '66 as well as the Corvair, but it never happened. Here's a body of one ready for a restoration. We call that a body off, I suppose. Chevy Junior. We're going to wander over here. What do we got? Camera hasn't turned off yet due to overheating. This is a prototype of the 140 4-barrel Wayne 100 boat, replacing the single 4-barrel Rochester. In 1966, Wayne Horning, a race car driver in California, decided to build boats with an air-cooled engine. He formed Inland Marine in Temple City, California. The Wayne 100 was born using an Avalon hull and a 95 horsepower True-Bell Corvair engine mounted top to bottom versus horizontally. It was mounted vertically. It generated more than 50 patents and many custom castings to modify the engine for boat use. A total of 97 of the 95 horsepower boats were built. This is the 4th one made that I own. The boat with the 95 horsepower engine can do 45 miles an hour. A couple of the parts of this Wayne Corvair powered boat. Boys with their toys. Crank that baby up. Monza Junior.
Congratulations, at least you can get it inside. I can no longer do it.
Boys and their toys. Boys and their toys, huh?
5 years old air in the tires, I would say.
Off he goes. Oh, good timing. Timing is everything. Chevrolet Monza Junior. If you're not too tall and not too wide, you can hop in a Monza Junior. If you want some fun on the open water, you can hop in a Corvair powered Wayne boat. The motor is mounted with the flywheel standing up. And I guess the intake manifold turned 90 degrees, and there's some what look like Solex or Weber carburetors. Interesting. Yeah, there's the starter. Here comes the Monza Junior. There were many Corvair engine-powered airplanes. Just got to make sure everything's working perfectly, and you got dual everything, dual spark, dual carburation, dual heat. Wayne 100, inboard marine ink. Even got the metallic steering wheel, period correct. Tahiti. It's even pitched right up to the Monza Junior. That's great. We've got a Corvair Ultravan here, the Corvair powered Ultravan, designed by David Peterson, a professional aircraft designer in the early 60s. These units were produced in limited quantities, approximately 365, by Ultra Inc. in Hutchinson, Kansas until June of 1970. They're constructed like an airplane using aluminum ribs covered with riveted aluminum sheets. The true monocoque structure with no frame, aluminum fuel and water tanks run from side to side under the floor to be integral parts of the structure and greatly contribute to the incredible strength of the hull. Compound curves of fiberglass front and back caps. It's powered by a 95 horsepower air-cooled flat six Corvair made into a 2-speed power glide automatic. All wheels are independently sprung with coil springs and tubular shock absorbers. The wheels are standard car 14-inch diameter. They easily cruise at 60 miles an hour and deliver 15 plus miles per gallon, recognized by the Corvair Society of America as a true Corvair vehicle. That's right, it's here in the concourse. We've got a Corvair powered trike, handmade, homemade, carrying our kegs of beer. Air cooled. You can put the motor wherever you wanted. Didn't matter which direction it pointed in. There's no water pump. Just a very important fan bearing on top. We've got Corvair Juniors buzzing all over the car show field. Little tight squeeze to get in one. What else we got? Got a 64 Monza 4-speed with ice cold underdash factory air, but where's the radio? No radio. Customized 60, got a red grill bar, but it's a 66. Red with silver flames. It's a very rare model 1065 year. Yeah, whoops, typo. It's got heat molded diamond or square pattern seats. Mild custom sewn in the back. 140 4-speed with Krager SS wheels, something that you would have seen back in the 70s or 80s. Survives to this day. Here's a 1960 700. It's got bumper guards, chrome trailer hitch. I drove in this car in the Econo Run 3 or 4 years ago when it was in Iowa. I drove there, you know, in my Turbo Turtle diesel-powered pickup truck. 1960 Corvair 700 sedan. The only thing that makes this look like it's out of the 70s, it's got the plus 25 headlights. These are halogens, more like the 80s. Otherwise, it would have had T3s with their very coarse flutes, much like you see right here. Those apparently, allegedly, would give you 25% more headlight distance. 64 Monza convertible. I've got a couple of these. Wood steering wheel, automatic power glide shift, aftermarket AM/FM cassette, or AM/FM CD rather. Cassettes are a little out of fashion. When did they stop offering those? In 1999, 2000? It's almost 20 years ago. Some good rock and roll, 1970s style. Yep. 64 Monza convertible. Love the look, love the lines. We saw this load side competing yesterday. It's got 110 horsepower engine, it's a 61 load side. Beautiful car. Beautiful truck. It's actually a truck. Beautiful truck, lowered and bling, and it's a family affair. 67. Bright yellow, deluxe interior. Beautiful custom interior done in velour. Air conditioned, no radio. It's got the 4-way flasher on the steering column and a power glide shift and the big wide soft buttons. Anti-penetration dash knobs. Chrome air cleaner that you would have found on a 140, but this is a 110 2-carb made by the Tonawanda Group in Tonawanda, just outside Buffalo, New York, in the Niagara Frontier. 66 Monza 4-speed with a Corsa dash and just beautifully restored, beautiful reproduction interior. It's got the Corsa chrome console and a wooden shift knob, but no wood wheel. You can accessorize your Corvair any way you want. Full width floor mat, remote control mirror, tinted glass, and what a black, beautiful shine this 66 Monza has. Another 66 Monza, triple white. White body, white interior, white top. Look at that flat floor, just like my Tornado. Telescopic